Welcome to this training screencast. This screencast is session 3 of dashboards, where I'm going to be looking at creating dashboards and dashboard interaction. In the previous sessions 1 and 2 we looked at dashboard sources and how to set up the parameters. So jumping forward, what are we working towards? We're working towards creating a dashboard that looks like this, where there's a grid on the side. It's going to show me the list of whiskies, and a couple of pie charts which can be used to filter the list of whiskies. So once again we go back to our dashboard designer, and you're going to go back to the test dashboard which I used in sessions 1 or 2. I've already added the data sources, I've already added the parameters in sessions 1 and 2. Now we're going to work on the designer. So on the designer across the top we have a toolbar which contains all the items that can be dragged or added onto the dashboard. I'm going to add a grid. Just by clicking that it adds a grid. And I'm going to add 2 pie charts. Once items have been added they can be dragged around and arranged, and that layout is obviously saved when you save the dashboard. So the first grid, notice that I can pick the sources of data over here. So that grid I would like to be fed by my whiskies data source, and remember the whiskies data source was represented by the stored procedure, and that's going to bring me back the fields country, region, name, flavor and color, which are represented over there. I'm going to drag these on here as columns on my grid, so we can arrange the columns in a meaningful way. Country, region, name, flavor, color. To rename one of these items, we need to click edit names, and then I call that whiskies. You can see that it changes the header up there. For the pie chart I'm going to use the same set of data but obviously different values. This can be our flavor pie chart. So I'm going to drop on flavor as both a value and an argument. That's going to be my color filter, or my color pie chart. I'm going to drag on color as a value and color as an argument. Quickly do my rename. That was my colors. Sorry. That was actually my flavors. And then that one over there is going to be the colors. Right, let's see how that looks by hitting the preview button. There we have our nice looking dashboard. As easy as that. The next step is setting up the dashboard interaction. Notice when I click these charts nothing happens. I would like to apply a filter when I click one of these segments. So going back again to the designer, I would click on my chart, click on the data toolbar, and I'm going to set that up as a what's called a multiple master filter. And that means that when I click on one of these items here, it's going to filter all of the data within this dashboard. I'm going to do the same thing for the second pie chart, multiple master filter. There are a whole lot of other options here which I'll cover in a more advanced session later on. So if we go back to our previewer, notice that now we have the ability to actually go and filter data, which is pretty cool. And you can make an advanced dashboard like this one over here. I'm just going to bring back all of the data, and we can see that when I filter down by country, I'm only seeing the regions within Scotland. And when I click, for example, region, it's only showing me the flavors and colors that exist within that region. So these are like cascading filters. To clear a filter is easy, we just click a little clear icon there. So that is pretty cool, dashboard interaction. You can read a lot more on that on the DevExpress website in the user documentation.